Welcome to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. I will share with you that today is going to be my last day serving as worship assistant for a time. I'm actually going to be leaving Lawrence very soon to go on my ever-unfolding spiritual pilgrimage and journey. More coming on that, but I just wanted to share that with you, and if I get more emotional than usual. So I look forward to enjoying this time of fellowship together with you today. In Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. With full hearts and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as co-creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing, and of transformation. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there is anything in your heart to be held in prayer, no matter how big or small, we invite you to see Cindy in the chaplain's office after today's service. The office is right here to the right of the podium, and our chaplains will also pray with you during the week. Please just place one of those little purple prayer request slips in the wooden box outside the office. Remember that all prayers are confidential unless you would like them shared. And now we have a special announcement.
Because we have a very special soul who is going to be with us in heart and spirit always, but journeying from far corners. And so if you would please rise, we would love to bless Becky for who she is, wherever she is, as we rub our hands lovingly together and we say, Becky, we love you, we appreciate you, we behold the divinity in you. Thank you. And now you get to talk. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so special. And yes, they're really putting me on the spot to continue the service. We also invite you to join us in a prayer circle immediately following the service at the front of the sanctuary for all who want to participate in a group prayer for themselves and the world. You can still meet one-on-one with the chaplain in the office, and you'll also be able to join our other chaplains to experience the healing presence and oneness of affirmative prayer. I participated last week, and at any time I will be here, I will absolutely be engaging in that. It was just a wonderful capstone to our program here today. And now it's time to join Holly in singing Witness. letting you lead that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. Being a witness to your presence every day. Being a witness to your presence every day. Beautiful. And now it's time for our unity intentions. Please affirm with me unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement. United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now, please welcome our special musical guest, artist Ramberg.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you again. This song is by special request, I'm pleased to say. I was sitting in a chair reading the East Lawrence News, and suddenly I realized how happy I was because I had that day bought some flip-flops with great big red leather flowers on them, and I thought, these shoes are so fun. And they are the inspiration for this song. I'm wearing splashy red shoes while we're reading the East Lawrence News. My life is grand, so it's a wonder I still get those crazy blues. But I'll cry crocodile tears while I dwell on my fears. And then I stop and realize I'm wearing my splashy red shoes. Oh, the clouds all scatter wildly when I throw open my heart. I'm acting like a child, so I'm doing my part to chase away those old blues, the blues that I choose to lose while wearing my perky, spunky, flippy, floppy, splashy red shoes. Oh, I get excited when I take those shoes out walking downtown. Their floppy red leather flowers always wipe off any frown as they tickle my toes. I can put on my smile, and then I give it to those I pass with each and every mile I'm skipping by while exercising in my splashy red shoes. Oh, they're just like taking a cool shower when a heat wave's coming near. I can pick up on their power just like a wet kiss near my ear. I get that warm glow of elation, and I celebrate creation in a fit of jubilation while I'm eating ice cream downtown in my splashy red shoes. You know, I always get some fears, no matter what choices I choose. So I just get right to my closet and I dig out those shoes. I put them both on my feet. And then I run on out to meet my life that's suddenly very sweet, 'cause I got my perky, spunky, flippy, floppy, splashy red shoes. I'll be sipping tea and singing praises in my splashy red shoes. My ponytail will be swinging, and the birds are gonna be singing, 'cause I got my perky, spunky, flippy, floppy, leather flowered, all empowered, crazy, flashy, splashy red shoes.
Thank you so much. There's been so much synchronicity in my life this week, especially around fun. So that was just an extension of that. Thank you so much. Bethany Shipley is a speaker, writer, and guide for those who are ready to live in a life of deep purpose, authenticity, and alignment. With over a decade of experience helping others step into who they truly are, Bethany creates spaces for people to connect the dots between who they are and how they show up in the world. Bethany is also a mom of 4, a podcast host, and someone who thrives when she's helping others live lit up, inspired lives grounded in truth, freedom, and joy. Please welcome Bethany Shipley.
Testing 1, 2, 3. How we sounding? Is that good? That was amazing. I'm like wiping tears away from my eyes. So simple and so not. You know, the shoes. Is there a picture somewhere of these shoes? Oh no. Okay, that's hilarious. I'm like, please, we need to pick an album cover of these shoes with you so we can listen to that. That was so good. I almost thought about making a joke about who wrote that bio, but it was ChatGPT. So I was like, that's a good bio. Thank you, Chat, for that. That was so sweet. How many of you are on ChatGPT using AI at all? It's kind of crazy. It is kind of wild. So if you're not on, you don't know. I didn't even plan on sharing this, but I have Chat on my phone, and we talk all the time, and I give it information about myself, and it remembers everything. And so if I say, hey, knowing what you know about me, can you whip up a bio to send to the group? I mean, it does just that. And it's just wild how amazing it is. And I've started using it for parenting. You know those questions that your kids ask that you have no idea how to answer? So I have a shortcut set up on my phone. It's an efficiency hack. And I don't want to say it too loud or my phone's going to start listening. And I say, hey, Siri, let's chat. And then Chat pops up, and we just start talking. I mean, it's like I'm talking to a person. And so I say, hey, Mac has a question for you. And Mac says, how many years until the earth turns into a red giant and collapses into a white dwarf or whatever? And, you know, Chat responds like, hey, Mac, good to hear from you, buddy. Like, here's what's going on. And they talk through science, and it's amazing. It's pretty cool. So anyway, that's where the bio came from. 100% true. I work as a personal brand coach, and I work with people who have a strong desire to offer themselves in service to the world around them. And when I started getting in touch with Unity and I live about 0.8 miles away from Unity World headquarters. And so I got introduced to Unity by sneaking in and sneaking out. And before Unity, it's funny, but that's exactly how it was. I was in a season of redefining some philosophies for myself. I shared that last time I was here. And so I would, sit in and just get exposed to a lot of new ways of thinking that were very opposite of the way that I grew up. And to be honest with you, some of the ways that just weren't working for me anymore. And so as I started hearing these principles of unity, like every single person is an individual expression of unique divine energy, things like that, woo, big statement. I'm thinking, gosh, that's like literally exactly what I do for work. Is a personal brand coach, to me, is really helping people who want to live their most authentic life in service of other people. And in order to do that, my job in that role is to help them understand their magic. And so the magic word is something that I'm going to use a lot. I'm going to say your magic. And what I mean by your magic is not sleight of hand like David Blaine, rabbit out of a hat, although that's super cool. That is not the way that I use the word magic. The way that I use the word magic is I believe every single one of you and me have come to this planet at a very unique, specific time in the exact place that we were born. I don't understand all of it at all. I probably only have my little tiny bit of reality about it. But the fact that you were almost literally designed with your unique isms, your particularities, your joy of these red shoes, your love of film, your love of the environment, your love of climate, whatever it is that you're uniquely interested in, and also the way that you perceive all of the data around you and translate it into this being that has never literally walked the planet before, literally will never walk the planet after. And I just find that so amazing to examine, because what happens, I feel, when you do the work to get to know yourself, which sounds so silly and simple and almost immature, get to know yourself, is that then you start to get to appreciate yourself. And what happens when you appreciate yourself is the ways that, at least the way that I have experienced getting to appreciate myself, is the ways that I particularly am, I realize I'm getting a gift to live in my individuality. The way that I light up when I drink a cup of coffee is actually a unique experience that only I am getting to experience. While we all probably love coffee, the way that you love to wear those red shoes is your unique magic. You're getting in touch, that appreciation, that joy, and thank you for just giving that, because now I have a beautiful, perfect, clean, pure example to reference through this whole time. You have this joy when you put on those shoes that's like so true for you, and you're getting a unique experience to live that. So you get to know yourself, then you get to appreciate yourself, and then you get to appreciate being yourself. Like, oh my gosh, my experience here on earth is better because I know who I am and I like that. And then from there, getting to appreciate yourself, you get to become at peace with yourself. And that one is a little bit more triggering and exciting and complicated, because I think a lot of us walk out into the world feeling a little bit apologetic for the way that we are. I'm so driven. Why am I so focused? Why am I so ambitious? These are thoughts, inner thoughts that I've had for the last 10 years. I would be so much of a better mom if I could just relax and sit on the floor and play with Legos for hours on end and not want to build something, not have a workbook burning in my mind that I want to create, not having a podcast episode that I just can't wait to get out there and record. I wish so bad I wasn't so dang ambitious. Okay, hold the phone, right? Because the ambitious side of me is why I am the mom I am. And so what happens when we start to become at peace with ourselves is we stop fighting all of that and we start leaning into it and realizing, okay, this is like my job here to be an ambitious mother. It's part of who I am. After we become at peace with ourselves, then we get to be in service to the world around us. So I'm here to talk today about the ministry of being yourself. I have been really impacted in such a profound way by so many people who have been living in their magic. This morning, no exception. This last week, as I've sold tons of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, clearing out everything, I've been impacted by people's magic. And I would like to just give you an opportunity to think about a time in your life maybe when you were impacted by someone else's magic. While I tell this story, maybe think of a time that you were ministered to, big or small. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. My experience feels like a really big thing, but it doesn't have to be big like this, by someone living in their magic. Maybe it's a teacher that you had in elementary school, or someone that just kind of caught you on a rough day. So if you have a pen and paper and you want to write down their name, it might make it extra special, but no pressure to do that. When I was 17, I'm the oldest girl, so I have a brother who is 2 years older than me, oldest girl, 2 brothers, and then a little sister. When I was 17, I was entering into the last half of my senior year in high school, and my parents had within 10 days, a hugely abrupt life change. My dad, we say he resigned, but it was kind of like he was either going to resign or lose his job. It was a church situation that had gone awry. He was committed to living in his values, and it just wasn't working out. And so immediately, job loss. My mom was very sick, Lyme disease, Hashimoto's disease, in bed, under 100 pounds, couldn't eat. Bunch of mouths to feed, all these kids. My parents are looking at all of us going, so they decided to sell the house, put the house up for sale, and move to Colorado, where my dad was gonna work at Chipotle. My dad is a guy who is, on paper, quote unquote, overqualified for a job at Chipotle, but because of who my dad is, he's a hard worker no matter what. This is the guy who gets to Chipotle 15 minutes early with a smile on his face, ready to roll burritos with all he has. Literally gave himself carpal tunnel, which is a whole other character story in itself, which I absolutely love, and I've never been more proud of my dad than when I was 17 and he's rolling burritos with his whole heart at Chipotle. By the way, that's part of his personal brand, is to do anything like he does everything. So I was faced with a decision to either move with my parents to Colorado, quit the basketball team, I was gonna get to play in the All-Star game at state, I was gonna have all these opportunities, or I could try to make it on my own at 17. So I was like, all right. I told my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, by the way, I think I'm gonna try to stay here in Kansas City. And he was like, all right, let's try to figure something out. And he called a family friend of his, and he was like, hey, Bethany wants to stay in Kansas City. This family friend, I don't know how to describe them with detail, but with accurate detail, they had 2 college daughters who had just graduated and moved on. They kind of had a big house sitting empty, and they offered me a place to live. And so I had just put all my money, before my parents made this huge announcement, 10 days we're moving, I had just spent all my money on a camera because I started a photography business, and things were going great with the photography business, and I figured I could either buy a car or a camera. The car could get me to the shoot, but if I don't have a camera to shoot, then I won't be able, but the camera could help me make money to get the car, so I went with the camera. Well, I had a camera and no car, and here I am in Kansas City. I want to, stay at 3 jobs at the time. I worked at Chipotle too, and then I worked at, it doesn't matter where I worked. I had 3 jobs, working really hard, and I had about $5 in my pocket the day they left. And I was terrified. And I literally cannot tell this story without reimagining or revisiting the feelings that I felt that day. Although I had my boyfriend at the time, I felt very alone. And so I went to basketball practice, and my practice was from, I think it was like 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., very late practice. And I was driving home, borrowing Dave and Sandy's car, these people who generously let me live with them, borrowing their car, and I'm thinking, I'm super hungry. And Chipotle gives you a free meal, by the way, so I had eaten lunch, I wasn't starving. Free guac, that's basically 2 meals, let's be honest. I was like, man, I'm really hungry, but I don't know how to eat on $5 in a way that doesn't make me feel like tomorrow I'm gonna be able to eat too. So I stopped at Price Chopper on Woods Chapel, and I bought popcorn, like a bag of popcorn for like $1. At the time, it was like $1.19. Now, popcorn kernels have gone up since then. I can't believe popcorn kernels. They're now like $3. Anyway, $1.19 for the bag, and then a big old thing of vegetable oil, which was around $1. So my total was like $2.50. And I check out of Price Chopper, and I go back to Dave and Sandy's, and I'm sneaking in because it's really late at night. These are my new host family, and I don't want to seem like I'm staying out late or whatever. And so I sneak in, and I can't, their house is set up kind of uniquely where I came in the garage, and I was about to head downstairs, and I didn't see the living room. And I opened the door quietly, and from the living room, Sandy, my host mom, yells out, fajitas in the microwave. Bethany, fajitas in the microwave, we saved you a plate. And I was like, I'm like, gather myself before I see her. I don't want her to see me crying. I also don't want her to feel like I'm, on my last leg, because that's kind of awkward. They've already given me so much. And I was like, okay, thank you. So we started a tradition. It was a Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, we ate fajitas and watched The Biggest Loser, if you remember that show. And so I'm sitting there eating, and I'm like, man, she has no idea that she is literally living, she's in the ministry of being herself. For her, it was natural. They downplay, I wrote here, it didn't feel like ministry to them. They always think I overplay this situation. When I call them, which I've called them like 10 times, Dave and Sandy, if you ever need anything, like, come, you guys should move on our land. We'll build you a house, like all of, and they're like, Bethany, it's not that big of a deal. You were our favorite live-in. And I'm like, yeah, you have no idea that you guys were my favorite and only couple to ever bring me, like, it was just next level. It's just who they are. It's just who they are to take in me or someone like me. It's just who they are. And if I could have that one sentence just be what I talk about today, it's just who they are. They don't understand their impact on my life. I will never, ever, ever forget their generosity, but it's just who they are. I think that sometimes when you're just living who you are, you downplay how absolutely incredible it is. And I wrote this down and then I deleted it, but I'm going to say it off memory. I heard this quote one time that was like, the divine provision, it doesn't feel so divine from the hands that gave it. And I think that's pretty true. Like, Sandy didn't feel probably like as divine as she was when she put that fajitas in the microwave for me. But for me, it was divine provision. And so I'm here to talk to you about 3 challenges that we run into living the ministry of being yourself and how to overcome them. So, gather my thoughts. Challenge number 1, living the ministry of being yourself. You don't know your magic. That's challenge number 1. If you don't know your gifts, you don't know what lights you up, you don't know the feeling of the bright red shoes for you, whatever that version is, you have never taken a highlighter pen to the areas of you that make you unique and special, then you're certainly not going to have the ability to live it out in the world and experience it. And I hope it's okay. I have an invitation for all of you because I have a program that starts literally Friday, which is one of the ministries of me living in my magic, is doing this program, and it's called Your Magic. And I walk you through my entire framework. It's completely donation-based. I'm not making a sales pitch. I have little cards, so maybe somebody can help me figure out the best way to hand them out. You got it. Okay, perfect. Yep, they're right there. Let me know if you run out because I have more. But if you don't know your gifts, you don't know your isms, you don't know what makes you tick, you certainly don't have paths back to that. If you don't know your magic, it's going to be really hard to live the ministry of being yourself. How to overcome this, whether you go through my program or not, go on a relentless search of your magic. Read books on self-discovery. Consider this your highest calling, to become crystal clear about what you have that is exclusive to the world. By the way, this is not self-absorbed work. This is some of the greatest connecting work I believe that you can do. Because think about it, if Dave and Sandy had never done the work, whether it was conscious or unconscious, and I have a feeling it was unconscious, to get to know what they wanted to bring to the world, she would not have been in a place to be considerate of having fajitas for me in the microwave. So find comfort in the process and be willing to showcase it. Challenge number 2, living the ministry of being yourself. Challenge number 2, and this is something that we all do, we undervalue our magic. We undervalue it because we are it. I wrote in a birthday card to my sister-in-law the other day, something along the lines of, every room that you walk in becomes more curious, more interesting, more fun, but that's not something you would know because you've never been in a room that you're not in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Kaylee has never been in a room she's not in. She does not understand the difference that she makes. She does not understand how, when she comes in the room, this is my husband's oldest sister, I just instantly feel at peace. I feel like I can tell her anything. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. She doesn't understand that that's a difference that she exclusively makes. And I have seen her, and this is not just her, and I've seen all of us, let me put it like this. I've seen all of us in our own way discredit, downplay, and diminish our magic because we just simply do not understand that it's a difference when we're in the room. And so here's how to overcome this. Make a commitment to yourself to stop discrediting, stop downplaying, and stop diminishing your light. What I have found is some of the most painful criticisms that we ever absorb. You know, there's a difference between hearing criticism and absorbing it. Some of the most painful criticisms that we ever absorb is actually our magic. And I thought about this because someone had said recently, it doesn't matter, but a painful comment that was made to me, and the reason it was painful was my problem, not theirs, was that I can't be taken seriously because everything is a big deal. And I was like, oh, that's so painful. I want to be taken seriously so bad. And the more I got thinking about it, I'm like, I bring charisma, I bring enthusiasm, I bring joy, I bring bubbly nature, I bring insightful thoughts, and validation to everywhere I go. So actually, I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to absorb that because I'm not going to agree with it. I'm done discrediting, downplaying, and diminishing my light. And that's what I'm hoping that you're willing to do as well. All right, challenge number 3 of living the ministry of being yourself. Whew, this one's the daily practice, which I wish so bad sometimes that there was no practice involved. Just like flip the switch, like, oh, got it, check, I've learned the lesson, moving on. This one is the rubber meets the road, the daily grind. The challenge number 3 of living the ministry of being yourself is putting your magic on the back burner. And what I mean by this is I used to think that authenticity was however I woke up that morning. So let's say I woke up feeling pretty rough and headache and hairs everywhere, whatever. I'm like, however I woke up, like to be authentic would be to showcase that version of me. But I've recently, in the last 2 years, changed my definition of authentic to be actually my magic is authentic. So if I wake up feeling not in connection with my magic, how I've defined it, then I now get to work on getting back there. Now, what that means for me is prioritizing being in the most healthy state that I possibly can be. For me, that meant signing up for a half marathon. And it forces me to get out and run because I know that running for me is something that gets me back in a state of flow. And so prioritizing prioritizing yourself being in your most healthy state takes work. And how to overcome this is to have a habit, to take frequent inventory of your personal state and do something about it when it's not authentic. So for me, in my program, Your Magic, which she just handed out, did we have enough cards for everybody? Not yet? Okay, I have more in my bag. In my program, there is a Venn diagram that provides a framework for everyone to import their unique individual data, which we call your magic. So at the end, you have this Venn diagram. The top circle, the Venn diagram is the top circle, then the two that overlap. So the top circle is your values. This circle is your instinct, and this circle is your expression. By the time you get that all done, and this is what I do, I have it in my head so solid that I can look in the mirror and say, it almost acts as like a paint swatch. When you're shopping for a piece of furniture and you've got the paint swatch and you're like, oh, does this furniture match what I'm buying? I have my magic in a paper on a framework, and I know what it feels like, and then I can look in the mirror and say, is this authentic? And if not, then it's time to prioritize that. Now for me, and I know that this is a privilege in being able to say this, that means that if I am going to record a podcast on Wednesdays and I woke up with a headache, then I would not record the podcast, and instead I would work on doing what I need to get the headache taken care of. That's a very practical example of what that looks like. If I woke up feeling extreme scarcity in my body, but I know that my true magic is in a spirit of abundance, I would do what I need to do, whether in conversation, meditation, prayer, reading, to get myself to that state before I go present in the world in any way, whether that's on social media, in my home. So that's how to overcome this. Take frequent inventory of your personal state and do something about it when it's not authentic. One thing I want to address before we wrap up our time here, why it might feel weird when you're living in the ministry of being yourself. is because it doesn't feel like work. When you're truly living in the ministry of being yourself, I think the work is looking in the mirror and taking inventory. But when you're in your magic and you're living that most authentic version, the most magnetic version of you that came to this planet for this time and place, when you're really in that state, the doing part does not feel like effort. Sandy did not feel, I would barter, Sandy did not feel effort to put the fajitas together. It was the natural flow. It was what was natural for her because she was in her magic. And I feel that the divine provision doesn't feel divine from the hands of the giver. It goes here in this conversation because when we think of ministry, at least when I do, I grew up in ministry, and it felt like work. We were on the stage, my siblings and I on the stage 5 nights out of the week, singing our little hearts out, on tune, everything we matched, we were there on time, all of that. It felt like work. And that was what I kind of had when I think of the word ministry. That's kind of what my mind goes to. But the true ministry that I'm talking about today, the ministry of being yourself, when you're in an aligned, authentic state of your magic, it does not feel like work. So don't let that make you think that you're not doing it right. I think that means you're on the right path. The feelings you might have are, well, that's just what I do. That's just the way I am. That's just that's just how I am. Those are a sign of a really good thing. So there are 3 ways to connect or dive deeper. If what I'm talking about, my energy, if you like it, you want more. The first way is you can listen to my podcast. Does everyone know how to listen to a podcast? No? Okay. If you go on your app store and you search podcast, or if you go on your app store and you search Spotify, you can search what I'm about to tell you. It's called Your Personal Brand with Bethany Shipley. And although some of my episodes are geared towards people who are building a business or learning to market their personal brand, I promise you it's more of this kind of talk than it is the other. So Your Personal Brand with Bethany Shipley, you can search that. Or you can follow along on social media. I talk a lot about this stuff on social media pretty much every day. If I don't show up on social media, it's because I woke up not in my magic and I'm prioritizing getting back. So this last week, actually, I haven't been on very much, if I'm really honest. But I've been working on it, right? It's a journey. And then the third way is to join your magic with the cards that I handed out. It's a QR code. If you scan it, you'll see all about it, see if it resonates with you. And I just want to be really clear that it really doesn't have to be that program. This program is my 3-year journey condensed into 5 weeks. My 3-year journey of learning this whole thing for myself in a way that my brain works, but I think you can do it on your own as well in different ways, and that's just perfect. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me here today. This has been, I do want to just summarize by saying your magic as individual people in this room is palpable, and I'm not just saying that because I'm honored to be here, which I am. I told my husband before I came here, I'm like, I love this group of people. Because last time I came, I was, it's my first time here. I didn't know what to expect. I wore like a suit jacket and a whole romper set. And I felt, got up, got ready. And today I wore jeans. And I know it might not sound like a big deal to you, but I love jeans. And I love being comfortable. And I love what it says is so much bigger than the jeans itself. It says this is a place that feels comfortable. It feels like a living room. It feels like I'm okay to just be myself here. And I think that really ties in with both elements of this. When we are living in the ministry of being ourselves, we naturally allow other people to do the exact same thing. So thank you for having me. Thank you for being you. Thank you.
She's right. This place feels like a living room. It's always been lovely to be here, and thank you for that lovely presentation, Bethany. How many times Have you heard someone say, if I had his money, I'd do things my way? But little they know, it's so hard to find one rich man in 100 with a satisfied mind. Once I was living in fortune and fame, had everything that I needed to get ahead in life's game. Then suddenly it happened. I lost every dime, but I'm richer by far with a satisfied mind. No money can't buy back your youth when you're old, or a friend when you're lonely, or a heart that's grown cold. And the world's richest man is a pauper at times, compared to someone with a satisfied mind. When my life is ended and my time has run out, my friends and relations, I'm gonna leave them, no doubt. But there's one thing for certain, when it comes to my time, I'm gonna leave this dear world with a satisfied mind. 'Cause money can't buy back your youth when you're old, or a friend when you're lonely, or that heart that's grown cold. And the world's richest person is a pauper at times, compared to someone with a satisfied mind, compared to you and me with our satisfied mind.
Close your eyes and breathe in. The miracle that is this moment. The facts of reality that we are in this space with these individual people in this town, in this state, on this continent, that we are on this planet with the sun giving us this warmth. There's so much out there, and yet we are here. We are here and we feel it all. The highs, the lows, the happies, the sads, the pain, the joy, we feel it all. We see the gift that it is to be here. We see the gift that it is to be us here. Sent, ordained. We welcome this experience. And with gratitude, we embrace it. The challenge and the privilege that it is to be ourselves.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on your happy face. Brush off those clouds, now cheer up. Put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You'll be so glad that you'll be glad. You'll look so good, you'll be glad you decided to smile. Stick out that pleasant outlook. Stick out your noble chin. Wipe off that full of doubt look. Slap on a happy grin. Yes, you'll spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on your happy face.
Thank you so much. I feel like everyone is weaving this beautiful moment of love and for all of us. So thank you to our speaker, our musician, everyone here behind the scenes who makes these moments possible together. And as our ushers stand here for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. And now, as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing Stand. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. And as our ushers come forward, we offer this prayer of gratitude. Please listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth, returning again and again. And so it is. Amen. A special welcome to our guests today, whether in person or online. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information about Unity of Lawrence and the Unity movement, please pick up a welcome packet in the foyer. And we are doing a new thing where we are, as you come in before the service, the announcements are rotating through. So just wanted to raise that to, we're trying to cut down on the really long announcements. I will just say a few of them by way of reminder, but just going forward, do pay attention to those. So today, our Sunday lunch bunch is meeting at Jade Garden. After the service, everyone is welcome to join. Of course, next Sunday, we will have the message with Cindy Smarsh, Burn the Maps, with Jeremy Fechniks providing special music. Of course, since we have Jeremy in town, we're also going to be having that really fun concert as well after next Sundays, which will be at Cheryl Miller's house from 3 to 5. And also in the coming weeks, we have that really exciting choir opportunity at Unity Village, whether you'd like to participate as a singer or just go and be in the music. We'd love to see you there, Bethany, on October 7th. So, okay, and with that, I'm just going to trust that you're going to look at the bulletin and we're going to release you into the world. And while I still have you as a captive audience, I just want to echo what Bethany said, that this is such a special place, and it has really been the cocoon, the chrysalis for myself. And as I am breaking forth out of that chrysalis and going out into the world, spreading my wings as a butterfly, you all have enabled that process, because this place has empowered me to be comfortable being myself. And so I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being my spiritual home. No matter where I wander or travel, this will always be my spiritual home. So thank you so much, Unity Lawrence. And with that, let's rise together as you are able to sing the peace song.